The sky was burning above the planet Aaron 7. Fire trails cut through the dark clouds as the human supply ship came crashing down inside. The ship alarms were screaming, and lights were flashing red. Commander Ryan Cole held tight to his seat as everything shook around him. The ship hit the ground hard, and metal screamed like a dying beast. Then everything went black. Ryan opened his eyes slowly. His head hurt, and something warm was running down his face. Blood. He touched it and blinked as the world spun in front of him. Smoke filled the ship and sparks danced in the air like fireflies. Most systems were dead. The crew. He checked the seats beside him, but no one was moving. They were all gone. He crawled out of the wreckage. The air outside was cold and heavy. He took a deep breath and coughed. The planet was strange. Tall blue trees with glowing leaves stood all around. The sky was dark purple, and the wind whispered like voices. Ryan checked his gear. His comms were broken, and there was no signal. He was alone, or so he thought. As the night came, the sounds grew louder. Not machines, not animals, something else. Something watching. Ryan found a small hill and set up a flare. He hoped someone in orbit might see it, but deep down he knew no one was coming soon. He sat with his rifle close. The silence was heavy like a weight on his chest. Then he heard it. Footsteps, soft, cautious. Something was moving toward him through the trees. Stood quickly and aimed his rifle. From the shadows came a figure, not human. It was a girl, alien. Her skin was pale silver, and her eyes glowed faint blue. She looked thin and weak. Her clothes were torn, and her hands were shaking. She raised her hand slowly. Her voice was soft. "Take me with you, or leave me to die." Human. Ryan did not lower his rifle. He said nothing. His finger rested on the trigger. He had seen aliens before, but never this kind. She looked scared, but also ready to die. He stepped closer and said, "Who are you?" She replied, "My name is Lyra. I am not your enemy. Please, let me come with you." Ryan looked around. No weapons on her, no sign of a trap, but he did not trust easy. He asked, "Why are you here?" She looked at the ground. "My people left me behind. They thought I was weak, not useful." Ryan frowned. "Why would they do that?" she whispered. "Because I helped a human before." The wind blew through the trees again. The sound was like laughter, or maybe screams. Ryan looked at her for a long time. Then he lowered the rifle slightly. "Stay where I can see you." She nodded slowly. Her eyes watched him like a child watches a storm. They sat by the small fire he made. She did not speak much. She looked tired, broken. Ryan asked, "Do you know this place?" She nodded. "Yes. I survived here for 6 days, without food, without light. The dark here is not empty." He looked around again. The shadows moved. Or maybe his mind was playing tricks. Lyra spoke. "At night they come. They smell fear." Ryan checked his weapon. Full charge, but he knew that might not be enough. She stood and walked to a tree. She touched it, and the bark lit up with soft blue light. "This tree hides heat. You sleep near it. They don't see you." He watched her. "Why help me?" She looked back at him. "Because no one helped me." The fire cracked and the wind grew louder. Ryan felt something in his chest. Not fear, something else. He did not want to say it, but he knew he could not leave her alone. She sat beside him, close but not too close. Fire made her face glow like a ghost. She looked at him and asked, "Will you take me?" He did not answer right away, but his silence was not a no. Somewhere in the dark, something screamed. Ryan raised his rifle. Lyra grabbed a stick and held it like a weapon. They were not safe, but they were not alone anymore. The night was long, but they stayed awake. 2 strangers, one human, one alien, watching the shadows, waiting for morning, hoping it would come. And far above them, something was watching something that did not like humans or traitors, and it was coming closer. A sharp scream cut through the night. Not human, not animal, something else. Something hungry. Ryan stood frozen, his rifle raised, his finger tight on the trigger. The scream echoed through the trees again. Closer. It was hunting, and it had found them. Lyra whispered, "We have to move now." Before Ryan could answer, a black shape dropped from the trees. Long arms, sharp claws, glowing red eyes. The creature landed in front of them. It opened. Its mouth rows of teeth. Too many teeth, Ryan fired. A burst of blue light slammed into the creature. It screeched and rolled back, but it was not dead. Lyra threw a rock at its head. It growled, turned toward her, and jumped. Ryan tackled her to the ground. As the beast flew over them, it hit a tree and snapped a branch with its weight. The tree groaned and cracked. The leaves turned from blue to deep red. "Run!" Lyra shouted. They ran through the forest branches, cutting their skin, the ground soft and wet like stepping on breathing flesh. The creature chased them, fast, silent, deadly. Ryan saw a hill and pointed. There they climbed, slipped, clawed their way up. At the top was a ledge, a cave. They ducked inside as the beast slammed into the rock outside. Cave was narrow and cold. Lyra lit a small glowing stone from her pouch. Her hand shook. So did Ryan. She looked at her. "What was that?" She breathed fast. "A hunter." "One of the dark ones?" he asked. "How many?" She looked at the cave mouth. "Too many." Ryan stared into the dark. "So this planet is a cage?" Lyra nodded. "And we are the rats." They rested in silence, every sound outside made. Ryan gripped his weapon, but the creature did not come in. Not yet. Lyra looked at the stone in her hand. Its light faded. Slowly. "We can't stay here," Ryan agreed. "But where do we go?" she said. "There's an old station, human tech, deep in the forest." His eyes narrowed. "You said your people left you. But you know where human tech is." She turned away. "I told you. I helped a human once. We found the station together. He died. I survived." Ryan said nothing, but his mind was full of questions. Later they left the cave, careful, quiet. The forest looked different now. Colder, meaner, like it knew they were still alive. They moved fast. Lyra led Ryan, watched her closely, every step, every choice. Stopped at a strange stone, touched it. The ground opened slightly. Inside was a metal box. Ryan stepped closer. Inside was a human emergency pack, old, half-burned, but still useful. "How do you know all this?" Ryan asked. Lyra finally looked into his eyes. "Because I was not just left behind." She paused. "I was sent." Ryan lifted his rifle. "You said your people betrayed you." She nodded slowly. "They did. After I changed sides." He asked. "What side is that?" She whispered. "Your side." Ryan did not lower the rifle. "You were sent to spy." Lyra took a slow breath. "Yes. But I didn't." The air between them grew still. The forest held its breath. "I saw what your people did," she said. "You helped. You healed. Even when we attacked you. You still saved us." Ryan's hands relaxed slightly, still alert, still unsure. "You had a chance to kill me," he said. "Twice." She nodded. "And I didn't." He looked away. The forest moved again. "No time for choices now. Show me the station," he said. "Then I'll decide if I trust you." She nodded, and they walked on. Hours passed. The trees began to change, thicker bark, strange wires growing from trunks. The ground buzzed faintly. Then they saw it half buried, a metal dome with the human logo faded on its side. Ryan felt something in his chest. Hope, just a little. Lyra walked ahead, touched the door. It opened with a soft hiss. Inside was dark, dead, but it was shelter. They entered, sealed the door. Ryan looked at her. "You said you helped a human. Was he from Earth?" She smiled sadly. "Yes. And he told me something before he died." Ryan asked, "What?" Lyra's voice was soft. "Sometimes the enemy of your enemy is not your friend, but your only chance." Ryan sat down, put his rifle on the ground, and for the first time he looked at her, not as a threat, but maybe a survivor, just like him outside. Dark ones gathered again. The hunt was not over, not yet. Ryan was standing inside the station, but the lights were off. He had turned them on. He was sure he remembered pressing the switch. He remembered the soft hum, but now there was only darkness. A low voice spoke near his ear. Not Lyra, not human. "Go back." He spun around. No one was there, just dust, just old metal and silence. Lyra appeared from the next room. "You heard it too, didn't you?" He nodded slowly. "Who was it?" She looked at the walls. "The station is not empty." They moved together through the old hall. Their footsteps echoed, faint and broken. like someone else was walking with them. But behind, always behind, they found an old power node. Ryan opened it. The wires were half melted, but he worked fast, clean hands, sharp eyes. He had fixed worse. Lyra stood guard. Her eyes watched the shadows. She did not blink much. She did not speak then. The lights came on, flickering, weak, but enough. The station lit up like a dead body, waking, cold, still, but not silent. Any more screens flashed, old video logs, human faces, smiling, laughing, screaming. Ryan moved to the central control desk. He tapped keys. The last message played. A man's face appeared, worn, bleeding, terrified. "This is Commander Ellis of Survey Team 6. If you find this, do not enter the lower hall. We woke something. It knows how to think. It knows our names. It is not a machine. It is not a ghost. It is the planet." The screen cracked. The message ended. Lyra stepped back. "This place is cursed. You should not stay." Ryan looked at her. "We need the signal booster. If we can fix it, we can call for help," she said. "Some signal should not be sent." He ignored her warning. He opened the floor panel, climbed down the ladder into the lower hall. Lyra followed, but slower, quieter. The lower hall was colder. The walls were smooth, not built by human hands. Strange symbols glowed faintly, not written, burned. Ryan touched one. It pulsed under his skin. A sharp voice entered his head. "You do not belong." He stumbled back, blood from his nose, eyes wide. He wiped it and said nothing. Lyra helped him stand. "I warned you," he whispered. "This planet is alive. Not just plants and beasts, the planet itself." She nodded. "It listens. It waits. And sometimes it speaks." They reached the signal room. Inside was a strange mix, human tech on one side, alien tech on the other, wires fused together as if they had grown that way. Not built, grown. Ryan stared. "This was not made by us. Or by you, was it?" Lyra shook her head. "This was built by something older." He worked on the console. His fingers moved fast. The system fought back. Keys moved by themselves. He typed again. A voice came from the walls. "Leave her behind." Ryan froze. "Who said that?" Lyra looked at him. "I didn't speak." The voice again. "She betrayed her kind. She betrayed yours. She will betray again." Ryan shook his head. "You're not real." The voice laughed, cold, cruel. "Human. Everything here is real, even the lies." Lyra grabbed his arm. "We need to go." The screen lit up, signal ready. Only one button left to press. Ryan looked at her. "Do I send it?" she said. "If you do, they will come, not just your people." He pressed the button. The signal launched far above. A satellite caught the pulse. Far beyond, something else did too, back in the station. The lights shut down again. Ryan and Lyra ran back up. As they climbed, the ladder felt longer. The station felt deeper. They reached the main floor. The door was closed. The control panel locked. Ryan slammed his hand on it. Nothing. Then the wall beside them moved, opened. A figure stepped out, not human, not alien, a machine, but alive. Its face was smooth. No eyes, no mouth. But it spoke. "Why are you here?" Ryan raised his rifle. Lyra stepped in front. "No. Wait." The machine looked at her. "You are not part of the cycle," she said. "I was never part of anything." The machine tilted its head, then vanished like smoke. Like a thought, the door opened. Ryan and Lyra stepped outside. The forest was quiet, too quiet. The stars above shimmered. One of them blinked. Lyra whispered, "Something saw your signal." Ryan looked up. "What did I just invite?" She answered, "Everything." And far away beyond the sky, something was already moving, something not human and not kind. Asterisk. Ryan found the message on her wrist. A hidden signal. Still warm, still active. Lyra was asleep. Her face calm, breathing soft, like nothing was wrong. But the truth was burning in Ryan's chest. He stepped back. Careful, quiet. The night was cold outside the station, but inside him something colder had started to grow. The signal was not human. It was old, encrypted, in a language he did not know. But one word stood out. Target. He watched her through the cracked window. Alien, alone. Beautiful in a way that made no sense, but also dangerous. He thought about everything. The crash, the creatures, the station. The voice that said leave her behind, he had ignored the warning. Now he wondered if he made a mistake. He checked the logs. She had opened the signal chamber while he was asleep a few hours ago. No words spoken. No questions asked, only a silent transmission. To someone somewhere. Lyra opened her eyes. She saw him standing with her wrist device in his hand. Her breath stopped, her face changed. Not fear, not guilt, something else, acceptance. She stood slowly, said nothing. Ryan raised his weapon. His voice was quiet. You lied to me. She did not move. I never promised truth. He asked, who did you call? She replied, no one you would like. The wind outside howled. Or maybe something screamed again. Ryan stepped closer. You sent a beacon. Same time I did. You brought them here. Lyra looked away. My people think I am dead, but there are others. Not from my kind, not from yours either. Ryan's hands shook. You're working with them. She shook her head. I was forced. Long ago, they marked me, used me. I broke free, but the mark stayed. Ryan remembered the machine and had said she was not part of the cycle. He asked, did you lead me here for them? She said, no, but they watch through me. They see what I see. Ryan lowered the weapon slightly. So you're the reason I'm still alive and the reason I might die. She stepped forward. I warned you. I told you not to send the signal. You pushed the button, not me. He looked at her, his voice tired. Then why help me? Why not? Let me die in the forest like the others. She spoke slowly. Because I wanted to be something else. Not a weapon, not a spy, just a person. She paused. But that choice is not mine anymore. Ryan turned away. The screen behind him lit up a new signal, strong. Coming from orbit. Something was here already in the sky, waiting. He grabbed his gear. We're leaving. Now. She followed. No chains, no guards. Just tension outside the station. The trees had changed again. Dark leaves, no glow. The planet knew they were moving as they walked. The ground vibrated under their feet, not from footsteps, but engines far above. Ryan looked up. The stars blinked again. Like eyes watching. He asked, what did you tell them? She answered, I said I found a human one with working tech, one who could activate the station. Ryan stopped walking. Why would that matter? She looked at him. Because this station is a gate. His heart skipped. A gate to what? She whispered. To something worse than war. Something older than your Earth. Something that calls itself mercy but gives none. He backed away. You told them where to find me. She nodded. But now I want to run too. He laughed, cold, bitter. You don't get to choose sides now. She looked at him. And yet you still haven't shot me. They stared at each other. Too long, too silent. Then the sky broke open. A ship entered atmosphere, black, silent, smooth like stone. But a librarian grabbed her arm. We move now. We find cover. No more lies. They ran into the forest behind them. The ship landed without sound. The trees bent as if bowing. From the ship came creatures not built, but grown machines with bones, eyes without soul. And one of them carried a symbol. Ryan saw it, same as the mark on Lyra's wrist. She stopped running. I know what they want. They won't kill you. They'll use you. He asked, for what? She looked at him. For the final key, the signal he sent. The human beacon had unlocked something. Ryan stared at her. You knew this would happen, she said. I hoped it wouldn't. He raised his weapon again, and this time he didn't lower it. Lyra said, one last thing. Whatever happens now, don't trust the voice. If it sounds kind, it never means what it says. Then they vanished into the trees, hunted by two armies, chased by silence. And above them, the stars were still blinking, but none of them were watching anymore, because something had already arrived, something that did not blink. The recording started without warning, a flicker of blue light inside the broken visor of a dead helmet, buried under leaves, lost in time. The voice was human. Tired, shaky male. If anyone hears this, my name is Captain Jonah Keel. This planet is not a planet. It's a prison. But the prisoners are not inside. They are the walls. They are the soil. They are the sky. A pause, static crackled. Then the voice returned. We came looking for fuel, found gods instead. They called themselves Watchers, but they Don't watch they feed on memory, on choices, on guilt. The voice faded again, then whispered. She helped me once. Not sure why her eyes were silver. Her name was Lyra. I think she was trying to forget something worse than me. The message ended buried. Again by the wind, Ryan stepped back from the helmet. He had found it half buried near a glowing tree. Lyra stood behind him, silent, watching his face as he listened. You knew him, Ryan said. She nodded. He died saving me. He gave me a name I didn't earn. Ryan stared at her. You still haven't told me the truth. She looked away. The truth is not a story. It's a wound. He said nothing, so she began to speak, not fast, not loud, but steady, like bleeding in words. I was made for diplomacy, born in a lab, bred to speak peace, but trained for silence. She touched her wrist, the mark still there. Before I could choose who I was, they chose for me. Ryan walked through the old field. Rusty metal bones of a crashed alien craft surrounded them. Said, who are they? She followed. The ones who built the station. Not my people, not yours, something else. Ryan stopped. Tell me what they want. She breathed slow. They want history to repeat. They want war to be constant. So they stay needed. He stared at her. You were working for them. She nodded. Until I met Jonah, until I saw him try to fix a broken planet, with nothing but a broken arm and a laugh that made flowers grow. Ryan didn't laugh. He didn't move. He said, you're a weapon, she said. I was. He pointed at the station. You sent the signal. You opened the gate. She walked to a tree, touched the bark. It shifted, revealing a face inside. Fossilized, frozen in horror. They punished me for leaving. They didn't kill me. They erased me, and they left me here with the dead who can't sleep. Ryan backed away from the tree. This place is wrong. She looked up at the sky. You asked for help, but help never comes free. He clenched his fists. So what now? I shoot you. Walk away. Wait for the sky to fall. She turned to him. You still have the beacon core. It's not just a signal tool. It's a key. It can lock the gate again. Ryan took it from his pack, held it up. It pulsed faintly. Why didn't you say this before? She said. Because it only works if a human turns it. One with intent, one with regret, one who understands betrayal. He looked at the sky. Great. So it needs someone broken. She nodded. And that's you. Ryan laughed, no humor in it. You think you can use guilt as a power source, she said. They do. He stared at her, his voice sharp. So what am I supposed to do? Forgive you? Save a planet that eats memories? Walk into a gate and die like your captain did? She stepped closer. No, just decide what kind of human you are. He looked at the beacon core again. Thought of Earth. Thought of the station. Thought of the voice that whispered in the dark. Leave her behind. He looked at her. Still marked. Still dangerous. Still here. Why do you want to close the gate? She answered. Because I don't want to watch another world fall. And I don't want to watch you become like them. He sighed. Too late for that. She shook her head. Not yet. A rumble shook the ground. The gate was opening wider. The air shimmered. Reality cracked like glass. Ryan looked down at the core, felt it grow warmer in his hand. He looked back at Lyra, and in that moment, he did not see a spy or a traitor or a weapon. He saw someone left behind too many times, and maybe, just maybe, someone worth saving, or maybe not. But either way, he had to choose, because the gate would not wait. Broadcast begins. This is Archive Unit 17 location. Aaron system gate breach confirmed. Human protocol failed. Upload complete. Purge cycle engaged. Thank you for your memory. Broadcast ends. Ryan's eyes snapped open. His head was ringing. The sky above was flickering, as if space itself was burning, as if stars were screaming. Was lying on the forest floor. His hand was empty. The beacon core was gone. Smoke drifted through the trees, black and silver, not natural, alive. He pushed himself up. His back ached. His shoulder was bleeding. He didn't know how long he had been down. Then he saw her, Lyra, fighting a machine with bare hands, one of the gate creatures. Long arms, thin body, no face. Fast, so fast she moved like she had trained for this moment all her life. She didn't scream, she didn't speak, she just survived. Ryan grabbed the fallen weapon, one of theirs, not his. He fired. The light was too bright. The sound too silent. The creature fell. Lyra turned eyes wide, face pale. "You're awake." He nodded. "Where's the core?" She pointed to the wreckage, the station half destroyed, still burning, still glowing. "They took it," she said, "used it to open the link." He stared at the sky, saw the gate. It was not a doorway anymore, it was a mouth. "How do we stop it?" he asked. She didn't answer. He grabbed her arm. "Lyra, how do we stop it?" She looked at him. "I don't know, I only know one way, and it's not survival." They ran toward the station. The ground split behind them, cracks like veins pulsing with red light from the trees. The Gateburn walked, no fear, no rush. Like death that already knows it as one inside the station. Sparks danced like ghosts. The main console was cracked, but the uplink module still glowed. Ryan ran to it, hands moving fast. "Tell me this still works." Lyra stood beside him. "I think it does, but if you connect now, it won't just send data, it will take it." He looked at her. "Take what?" She touched his chest. "Everything. That makes you human, your fear, your anger, your choice." He stared at the screen. The upload sequence was ready, one button left. Always one button. He looked back. The creatures were almost at the door. He asked, "If I do this, will they die?" She said, "No." "But they will stop becoming more?" he asked. "And me?" She looked down. "Maybe not all of you comes back." He touched the console, then paused. "What about you?" She smiled. "The gate never wanted me, only you." Ryan reached for the button. The station shook. The roof cracked. He pressed it. A screen rose from the ground. Not sound, not pain. Memory images filled the station. Faces, places, wars long forgotten, love long lost. Everything he had ever done shone back to him like a mirror. Without mercy he fell. But the signal rose, climbed through the broken sky, entered the mouth above. The gate paused. Its light flickered, its shape twisted outside. The creatures stopped, looked up, like children hearing their mother call them home. Then silence. The gate began to close. Slow, final. The ground stopped shaking. The air cooled inside. Ryan lay still, breathing barely. Lyra knelt beside him. His eyes opened, weak but still. "Him?" he asked. "Did it work?" She said. "You heard it, that's enough for now." He smiled only a little. Then, "Take me out of here before I change my mind." She helped him stand. Together they walked outside. The sky above was still broken, but Kieta rescue signal, weak but real, blinking in the distance. Ryan leaned on her. "You still with me?" she whispered. "Until you leave me behind," he said. Not this time. From far above a ship changed course, heading their way, but in the shadows of the forest, one creature remained, watching, waiting. Unchanged, because not all gates close forever. Some just sleep. She was standing in front of the hatch alone, hands by her side, face unreadable, back straight, but not strong, not anymore. The ship was ready to leave. Engines humming, ramp open, wind circling around her like a question with no answer. She had walked all night to reach this point, after Ryan had gone inside, after the medics pulled him into the clean white light, after the soldiers pointed weapons at her and said nothing. They had not touched her. They had not needed to. She was alien. She was marked. She was already not part of the world they came from. Inside the ship, Ryan opened his eyes. Everything smelled like metal and medicine. His body hurt, his head spun, but his mind remembered the station, the signal, the gate, and Lyra at his side when no one else had been. He tried to sit up. A voice told him to stay down, a soldier, calm voice. Empty eyes. Ryan asked, "Where is she?" No one answered. He stood anyway. Walked past the crew, past the shocked glances, past the whispers, out the ramp, into the open night. She was still there. Same place, still waiting, still silent. He stood above her, looked down at the one person who should not be trusted, and yet had never left. She spoke first, voice low, like she already knew the answer. "They won't let me go with you." Ryan asked, "Did you try?" She shook her head. "No point, I've already been judged." He stepped closer. "I haven't said anything," she said. "You don't have to. You chose already. You're here, I'm not." He looked up at the stars, still cracked, still healing. He remembered the voice in the dark, "Leave her behind." He remembered how many times he almost did, how easy it would have been. How human it would have been. But he didn't so. He said the words like he meant them, like they were real. Because they were. Come with me. She didn't move. Why? He answered. Because you were the only one who didn't run. The soldiers at the door stepped forward. Weapons low, but ready. One of them said, "Sir, she's not cleared. She's not even classified as safe." Ryan looked at them. No one here is safe, especially if you leave her behind. The soldier looked at his commander. The commander looked at the blood on Ryan's uniform, the burn marks, the exhaustion, and made a call. Bring her aboard. You're responsible for her now. If she becomes a threat, it's on your name, Ryan said. It already is. Lyra walked up the ramp, slow. Each step like it might disappear, like it might turn to dust, but it held, and so did she inside the ship. She sat beside him, not close, not far, just enough. Ryan leaned back, eyes closing again. You good? She nodded. You? He smiled. Still broken, still breathing, human things. The ship rose, left the cursed planet behind. Left the gate closed for now. Hours later, a message played on the ship's system. A report from command. Commander Ryan Cole. Rescued from hostile world. Aaron 7 recovered gate artifact successfully neutralized. One alien survivor accompanying. Pending status. No threat detected, but watch list entry created. File name Lyra. She heard it, didn't react. Ryan turned his head. Watch list, huh? Not too bad. I've bet on worse, she said. I've bet on worse too. They both smiled, small, tired, but real. Outside the window, Earth appeared blue and alive, still distant. Still waiting. Lyra looked at it, long and quiet, like she had seen it before in a dream. She didn't believe in. Ryan asked, "You ever seen it?" She said, "No, but I've been hearing stories about it since I was grown." Your people, your wars, your hope, he asked. Still want to come with me? She looked at him, then looked at Earth again. More than anything, the ship moved through space, not fast, not slow, carrying one man who had no reason to trust, and one alien who had no right to be saved. But here they were, together, because sometimes the right thing is not the smart thing, not the easy thing, not the safe thing. It's just the human thing, and sometimes that's enough.